guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Amber. Today I am starting some seeds in my soil blocks. It's March 1st, which means spring is just around the corner, and that means I gotta get started on these guys. So today I'm gonna show you again how I do some soil blocks, what I'm planting this year, and I'm gonna do an introduction into my sweet potatoes. I'm starting those guys from scratch this year. We're gonna make our own slips, and I'll show you how I did that. I also am gonna try a few new varieties today, which I'll go over. I've never gone through a couple of these companies before, so we'll see how those work out. I'll show you guys a little bit about the space that I'm starting my seeds in this year. I'm considered more of an urban gardener. I'm only on about a half acre of land here. However, I will be starting seeds for an alternate garden that we're going to be doing a little bit south of here, which is a larger space, so I'm really excited about that. I'll be doing that with my mother-in-law. She may never want to come on this YouTube channel to be shown, but I think we're going to try to get her on this year. She has excellent experience in gardening. She's been doing it for years. She is where I got the bug from, so we're going to hopefully get her on the channel one of these days too. And I will show you her property in the next coming up weeks, I hope. And the garden over there is going to be excellent. I'm really excited about that. She's gone over the top with that. So without further ado, let's get our gloves on and get into the soil. So once you have your soil for your soil mix, you're going to look at the seeds and see how large they are and how much they're going to be growing indoors. So there are a couple different starts for the soil blocks like I went over before. I will start a lot of my seeds in the smaller soil blocks. However, if you're doing things like cucumbers or zucchini indoors, those are larger seeds. You're going to want to be using the larger soil blocks and then just go from there. So if you know that you're going to be transplanting them pretty soon, maybe you want to start with the larger blocks depending on the type of plant they are, just to give them a little bit more room for their root system. Like I said, I'll be starting a lot of mine in the smaller ones. So today I'm going to be starting some peppers, some tomatoes. I'm going to do cucumbers, zucchini, and a couple of different herbs. I've already got some onions started, and as well as some lettuce and kale, and a couple different types of lettuce, because I'm going to be throwing those guys into my cold frame. If you guys don't know what a cold frame is, check out the other video that I have on how we constructed our cold frame. My husband built that for us. It's a great tool. We live in Michigan, and we utilize that all year round. So I was pulling up carrots in the winter. I have a lot of root vegetables growing in there. And I also do a lot of my greens. A lot of the greens will grow right through the winter time in that because it's protected from the elements. So check that out if you haven't already, and utilize that if you guys are able to. So again, we're going to be doing some peppers. I'm going to be doing some golden California, some basil, all the way through zucchini and some different tomato plants. So let's get started. Also, make sure that you always try to sift through your soil before you make soil blocks. The smallest thing seems to always kind of set it off and ruin your soil block. So try to go through it, pull out any bits that haven't composted yet. I keep a spare bucket on the side over here just for those types of little sticks and twigs and greens that might not have kind of composted all the way down. And it never hurts to have extra water right next to you for that reason too, in case you have to mix new soil or whatever. So just some background for the channel. I know we had to kind of stop for a moment. We had a baby girl back in December, so she's not quite 3 months old yet. So I'm really excited to have the garden going, because by the time the harvest starts coming in, the first harvest, we will be making baby food for her. So all organic, all out of the garden. I'm super excited about that. I love being able to feed the babies stuff right out of the garden. The boys grow up and know exactly where their food comes from, and I think that's huge. I had a garden growing up with my dad, and he gave me my strawberry patch So I didn't do anything with it, to be honest, but I got excited when the strawberries started coming in. So don't be afraid to get your kids out in the garden. If all else fails, they'll weed some plants for you, and then they'll know where their food comes from. You know, take them to a farmer's market, introduce them to the farmers or the local growers, so they know exactly where their food's coming from. So a couple of great items to have around you at your disposal while you're doing your seed starting are these great baking pans. I got these guys at the dollar store. They have a pretty good lip on them, so you can feed the water from the bottom up. Also, if you're going to be doing things like sweet potatoes or other things that need to be sitting in water, you're going to want to get maybe some mason jars. I like them because they're glass, so that works for me. They can sit on my heat mat and I don't have to worry about them. And also some things that you can recycle. So I have 3 children, so I go through milk like crazy. So we have some half-gallon milk jugs that I like to plant my tomatoes in, or larger pots, instead of buying a bunch of recyclable pots that you can put in the ground. These I just use year after year. Also for recycling, milk gallon jugs, the plastic kind, are great. I use these to cover plants if I know there's a frost coming and I already have plants out. You can also cut these guys up and use them as garden markers. The plastic obviously doesn't go bad or gets dirty out there. You can just wipe them right off. And dollar store also has some good garden gloves. Local Home Supply. I got 20 pairs for just a couple bucks, and I go through them pretty quickly anyways. Plus, it's nice to have a pair everywhere. So I have a pair outside, I have a pair in the shed, I have a pair in the garden. It's just nice to have those kind of everywhere in case you need them. Thank you for joining us on the channel today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you can get some updates on when we are posting our videos. And join us next week as we go over some materials that you might have thrown away but could be really useful in your garden. Hopefully we'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.